And in the meantime of this rebirth, right now, I'm going to introduce you. I call her Prince because she doesn't like to come out too often. She's been in retirement. So she's gracing us with her presence. Just kidding. Got mad love for you. Here she is, Adisa Ramla. Right there. She's coming. She's right ready.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm going to do a piece for you called my flame of reference. It's called My Frame of Reference. And this is actually the first piece that I ever wrote, and it was meant for a slam. So it was exactly 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and I did it really, really fast. And I'm going to perform it for you right now, and it's called My Frame of Reference. I stopped pretending. I had been pretending to be mending the web of my life's heart, but from the start it had a hole. So that's 25 years of my soul flow crying complex tears dripping from joy's forsaken eyes. And people ask why. I don't know. My father, he and Mrs. Jones had this thing going on, and they recreated and duplicated their misty souls to form one, and then rising like the sun, conception gave breath to a new one. Now I manifested through eyes that bring tides of good spirit, but the love, joy, and pain ran deep and I could feel it. I was all wrapped up in two hearts looking for freedom, subsequently bringing me down to the fact that it was my turn to live it and be it. So I slipped into unlived realities and misplaced potential, not realizing how influential another's grief can leave you with no relief from the heated passions of mind's thrashing. I was caught in the wrath of a generation of misguided angels falling to the ground, never leaving their profound atmospheres of pleasure and pain behind, not knowing how to rise above it, trying to love it, not hate it, know it, don't become it. But we did. Absorbed it, ingested it, and materialized it all. We tried to rise above, but took a fall into punctual, dysfunctional rhythms. And it sent me. Kind of like a fantasy, a broken fantasy, but mine was reality. And some say, oh, it's really sad to see. But if you can see through it, you can see the truth and not get bruised by it. You can almost learn to like it. But once you've learned to say goodbye to it, you will never turn back. So now I've turned away and started my own path, always remembering to reflect back on those times when my footsteps in the dark left me thoughtless, but later cautious. And now I've repaved the way to be flawless. No more sowing seeds of beaded grievances, relentless and lifeless. I'll only plant seeds of the season's best feelings, love that comes from self-knowing and healing. I'm rising towards the sun, shining rays of inspiration and hope for a new one. See, there is only today, and that is the truth. I cannot count on tomorrow for what needs to be introduced because lessons come in so many shapes and sounds with bounds of information. If we could only open up, we could embrace them. But those words in my ears leave tattooed tears, and all my worst fears lying all those years so far gone, I hesitate to recreate a new meaning on my journey. And although I've learned to see it all for what it's worth, and I've stopped to rebirth past ideas and wash away old fears, I'm still scared, but readily prepared to face the destiny that waits for me. There's no more crying tears of rage for the ways that I wish that things could be, because it's not even about me. Thank you.
Wow. Why did you? Wow, that was great. You wrote that? You didn't steal it?
No, I wrote that.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
And then you memorized it?
And
I can't remember poems
it.
worth crap, man. Mine aren't that good. I'm better at TV shows, can't you tell? So you said you read it for the first time for a slam. Like how long did you like slam for? Or was that like, you know?
For a couple years off and on, I was doing a lot of just local competitions in Berkeley and Oakland and stuff like that, and with a lot of my friends locally. So yeah.
But when you say slam, when I think of slam, I think of like I think of like everybody that talks in the same rhyme at the same time at the same time at the same rhyme 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 at the same rhyme at the same time. But you didn't actually do that. You
Right.
kind of mixed yours up a little bit because,
Right.
like, you know, I mean, it's cute, but like, you could be talking about cookies. I'm gonna get a cookie. I'm gonna get a cookie.
Right.
Cookie. My cookie is ready for my cookies. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm not that type of poet.
That's good. That's why we invited Prince out.
Thank you.
And she graced her with her presence. So she even has a Prince symbol on her wall at her house. But that's a whole other story. You'll never see it. It's a cave painting. So I wanted to ask you, like, so when you think of poems, like, what does it all come at once? Do you just like spit out? Like when I write a play, it'll come out sometimes, or other times I'll work on pieces.
Yeah.
And I have different pieces that are, you know, coming in and out. So how does the process work for you?
Both ways. This piece in particular did actually come right out, kind of like I like to call it like a divine download. I was sitting there and I had this idea and I picked up my pen and wrote it out, and that was it. And then it took about 10 minutes.
Cool. So you were like a channel.
Exactly.
That's great. So once again, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you.
Little Prince. Prince female, but you're not princess. It's more deep than that.